ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददातु स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुर्वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखात सान्तजीवम्। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णाप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिशे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय। वाञ्छाकल्पत्रयोगस्य कृपा सिन्धुवेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, all the devotees. So let's start the day 3 of Bhagavatam. I hope we are read till the point 2 and we're starting from the Lord explained, right? So let's start. The Lord explained the word mukti to be equivalent to the word Vishnu or the personality of Godhead. To attain mukti or liberation from the bondage of material existence is to attain to the service of the Lord. The Lord then proceeded towards South India for some time and converted all he met on the way to become devotees of Lord Shri Krishna. Such devotees also converted many others to the cult of devotional service or to the Bhagavatam Dharma of the Lord. And thus he reached the bank of the Godavari, where he met Srila Ramanand Rai, the governor of Madras, on behalf of Maharaj Prataprudra, the king of Odisha. His talks with Ramanand Rai are very important for higher realization of transcendental knowledge, and the conversation itself forms a small booklet. We shall, however, give here with a summary of the conversation. Shri Ramananda Rai was a self-realized soul, although outwardly he belonged to a caste lower than the Brahmana in social status. He was not in the renounced order of life, and besides that, he was a high government servant in the state. Still, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted him as a liberated soul on the strength of the higher order of his realization of transcendental knowledge. Similarly, the Lord accepted Srila Haridas Thakur, a veteran devotee of the Lord coming from a Mohammedan family. And there are many other great devotees of the Lord who came from different communities, sects, and castes. The Lord's only criterion was the standard of devotional service of a particular person. He was not concerned with the outward dress of a man. He was concerned only with the inner soul and its activities. Therefore, all the missionaries activities of the Lord are to be understood to be on the spiritual plane, and as such, the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or the cult of Bhagavad Dharma has nothing to do with the mundane affairs, sociology, politics, economic development, or any such sphere of life. Srimad Bhagavatam is purely transcendental urge of the soul. When he met Ramanand Rai on the bank of Godavari, the Varnashram Dharma followed by the Hindus was mentioned by the Lord. Srila Ramanand Rai said that by following the principles of Varnashram Dharma, the society of four castes and four orders of human life, everyone could realize transcendence. In the opinion of the Lord, the system of Varnashram Dharma is superficially only, and it has very little to do with the highest realization of spiritual values. The highest perfection of life is to get detached from the material attachment and proportionately realize the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The personality of God recognizes a living being who is progressing in the line. Devotional service, therefore, is the culmination of the culture of all knowledge, where Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appeared for the deliverance of all fallen souls. He advised the deliverance of all living entities as follows. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom all living entities have emanated, must be worshipped by all their respective engagements, because everything that we see is also the expansion of his energy. That is the way of real perfection, and it is approved by all bona fide acharyas, past and present. The system of Varnashram is more or less based on the moral and ethical principles. There is very little realization of the transcendent as such, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected it as superficial and asked Ramananda Rai to go further into the matter. Sri Ramananda Rai then suggested renunciation of fruitive actions onto the Lord. The Bhagavad Gita 9.27 advices in this connection: whatever you do, whatever you eat, and whatever you give, as well as whatever you perform in penance, offer to me alone. This dedication on the part of the worker suggests that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a step higher than the impersonal conception of one ashram system. But still, the realization of the living being and the Lord is not distinct in that way. The Lord therefore rejected this proposition and asked Ramananda Rai to go further. Rai then suggested renunciation of the Varnashram Dharma and acceptance of devotional service. The Lord did not approve of this suggestion also for the reason that all of a sudden one should not renounce his position, for that may not bring him the desired result. It was further suggested by Rai that attainment of spiritual realization freed from the material conception of life is the topmost achievement for all living beings. The Lord rejected this suggestion also because on the plea of such spiritual realization must have been wrought by unsurplus persons. Therefore, all of a sudden, that is not possible. The Rai then suggested sincere association of self-realized souls and hearing submissively the transcendental message of the past tense of personality of Godhead. This suggestion was welcomed by the Lord. This suggestion was made following in the footsteps of Brahmaji, who said that the personality of Godhead is known as Ajita, or the one who cannot be conquered or approached by anyone. But such Ajita also becomes Jita, conquered by one method, which is very simple and easy. The simple method is that one has to give up the arrogant attitude of declaring oneself to be God Himself. One must be very meek and submissive and try to live peacefully by lending the ear to the speeches of transcendently self-realized souls who speak on the message of Bhagavad Gita or the religion of glorifying the Supreme Lord and His devotees. To glorify a great man is the natural instinct of living beings, but they have not learned to glorify the Lord. Perfection of life is attained simply by glorifying the Lord in association with self-realized devotees of the Lord. The self-realized devotees is he who surrenders unto the Lord fully and who does not have attachment of material propensity, prosperity. Material prosperity and sense enjoyment are their advancement, and their advancement are all activities of ignorance in human society. Peace and friendship are impossible for a society detached from the association of God and His devotees. It is imperative, therefore, that one sincerely seek the association of pure devotees and hear them patiently and submissively from any position of life. The position of person in the higher or lower status of life does not hamper one in the path of self-realization. The only thing one has to do is to hear from a self-realized soul with a routine program. The teacher may also deliver lectures from the Vedic literatures following in the footsteps of the bygone acharyas who realized the absolute truth. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended this simple method of self-realization generally known as Bhagavad Dharma. Srimad Bhagavatam is the perfect guide for this purpose. Above these topics discussed by the Lord and Sri Raman Rai, there were still more elevated spiritual talks between the two great personalities, and we purposely withhold those topics for the present because one has to come to a spiritual plane before further talks with Ramanand Rai can be heard. We have presented further talks of Srila Ramanand Rai with the Lord in another book, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. At the conclusion of the meeting, Sri Ramanand Rai was advised by the Lord to retire from service and come to Puri so that they could live together and nourish a transcendental relationship. Some time later, Sri Ramanand Rai retired from the government service and took a pension from the king. He returned to his residence in Puri, where he was one of the most confidential devotees of the Lord. There was another gentleman at Puri of the name Sikhi Mahiti, who was also confident like Ramananda. The Lord used a hold confidential talks on spiritual values with 3 or 4 companions at Puri, and he passed 18 years in that way in spiritual trance. His talks were recorded by his private secretary, Sri Ramananda Goswami, one of the four most intimate devotees. The Lord extensively traveled all over the southern part of India. The great saint of Maharashtra, known as Saint Tukaram, was also initiated by the Lord. Saint Tukaram, after initiation by the Lord, overflooded the whole of the Maharashtra province with the Sankirtan movement, and the transcendental flow is still rolling on in the southwestern part of the great Indian peninsula. The Lord excavated from South India two very important old literature, namely the Brahma Samhita and Krishna Karnamrit. And, and these two valuable books are authorized studies of the person in the devotional service. The Lord then returned to Puri after his South India tour. On his return to Puri, all the anxious devotees of the Lord got back their life, and the Lord remained there with continued pastimes of his transcendental realization. The most important incident during that time was his granting audience to King Pratap Rudra. King Pratap Rudra was a great devotee of the Lord, and he considered himself to be one of the servants of the Lord entrusted with sweeping the temple. This submissive attitude of the king was very much appreciated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The king requested both Bhattacharya and Rai to arrange his meeting with the Lord. When, however, the Lord was petitioned by his two stalwart devotees, he flatly refused to grant the request, even though it was put forward by personal associates like Ramanand Rai and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. The Lord maintained that it is dangerous for a sannyasi to be in intimate touch with worldly, money-conscious men and with women. The Lord was an ideal sannyasi. No woman could approach the Lord even to offer respects. Women's seats were accommodated far away from the Lord. As an ideal teacher and acharya, he was very strict in the routine work of a sannyasi. Apart from being a divine incarnation, the Lord was an ideal character as a human being. His behavior with other persons was also above suspicion. In his dealing as acharya, he was harder than the thunderbolt and softer than the rose. One of his associates, Junior Haridas, committed a great mistake by lustfully glancing at a young woman. The Lord, as Super Soul, could detect this lust in the mind of Junior Haridas, who was at once banished from the Lord's association and was never accepted again, even though the Lord was implored to excuse Haridas for the mistake. Junior Haridas afterwards committed suicide due to being disassociated from the company of the Lord, and the news of suicide was duly related to the Lord. Even at the time of the Lord was even at that time, the Lord was not forgetful of the offense. He said that Haridas had rightly met with the proper punishment. On the principles of the renounced order of life and disciple, the Lord knew no compromise, and therefore, even though he knew that the king was a great devotee, he refused to see the king only because the king was a dollar and saint man. By this example, the Lord wanted to emphasize the proper behavior of transcendentalist. The transcendentalist has nothing to do with women and money. He must always refrain from such intimate relations. The king was, however, favored by the Lord by the expert arrangement of the devotees. This means that the beloved devotees of the Lord can favor a neophyte more liberally than the Lord. Pure devotees therefore never commit an offense at the feet of another pure devotee. An offense at the lotus feet of the Lord is sometimes excused by the merciful Lord, but an offense at the feet of a devotee is very dangerous for anyone who actually wants to make progress in devotional service. हिमांशु आपको याद है मैं इसके बारे में आपको बता रहा था.
जी जी
As long as as long as the Lord remained at Puri, thousands of his devotees used to come to see him during the Ratha Yatra, car festival of Lord Jagannath. And during the car festival, the washing of the Gundicha temple under the direct supervision of the Lord was an important function. The Lord's congregational Sankirtan movement at Puri was a unique exhibition for the mass of people. That is the way to turn the mass mind towards spiritual realization. The Lord inaugurated this system of mass sankirtan, and leaders of all countries can take advantage of this spiritual movement in order to keep the mass of people in a pure state of peace and friendship with one another. This is now the demand of the present human society all over the world. After some time, the Lord again started on his tour towards northern India, and he decided to visit Vrindavan and its neighboring places. He passed through the jungle of Jharikhanda, Madhya Bharat, and all the wild animals also joined his Sankirtan. The wild tigers, elephants, bears, and deer all together accompanied the Lord, and the Lord accompanied them in Sankirtan. By this, he proved that by the propagation of the Sankirtan movement, congregational chanting, and glorifying of the name of the Lord, even the wild animals can live in peace and friendship. And what to speak of men, who are supposed to be civilized. No man in the world will refuse to join the Sankirtan movement, nor is the Lord Sankirtan movement restricted to any caste, creed, color, or species. Here is direct evidence of his great mission. He allowed even the wild animals to partake in his great movement. On his way from Vrindavan, he first came to Prayag, where he met Rupa Goswami along with his younger brother Anupama. Then he came down to Banaras, Varanasi. For 2 months, he instructed Sri Sanatan Goswami in the transcendental science. The instruction to Sanatan Goswami is in itself a long narration, and full presentation of the instructions will not be possible here. The main ideas are given as follows. तो एक्चुअली रामानंद राय के बारे में एक स्टोरी याद आई, मतलब एक छोटा सा इंसिडेंट है। तो तुकाराम प्रभु या किसी से सुन रहा था मैं, ये बताया जाता है कि रामानंद राय जो है वो बहुत ही एलिवेटेड स्टेट पे थे। कहने का मतलब ये है कि जब पुरी में ऐसा होता था कि शाम के समय नृत्य होते थे, तो नृत्य कौन करते थे? बालिकाएं करती थी, 14-15 साल की बालिकाएं करती थी। तो क्योंकि ये जो नृत्य बालिकाएं करेंगी, तो बालिकाओं को बहुत ज्यादा सुंदर दिखना चाहिए और बहुत ही सुंदर से वो कार्यक्रम होना चाहिए। तो इसके लिए रामानंद राय क्या करते थे, स्वयं अपने हाथों से जितनी बालिकाएं हैं सबको नहला करके, सबके शरीर में तेल लगा करके एक हिसाब से उनको तैयार किया करते थे। तो इसमें मैंने जो सुना, तो उसमें कहने का मतलब ये है कि वो इतने एलिवेटेड स्टेट पे थे कि वो इन सब चीजों को देख करके या इन सब को स्पर्श करके भी उनका कॉन्शियसनेस इस लेवल पे था कि वो कभी भी अब फॉल डाउन नहीं हो पाए। सेम केस एक बार प्रभुपाद ने कहीं पे बोला था कि इवन इफ यू नो लिव मी विथ 100 nude girls in a room, then also I'll not get agitated because my whole mind is concentrated on the lotus feet of Krishna. तो मतलब कहने का मतलब ये है कि कैसे डिवोटीज हैं भगवान के जिनका इतना ज्यादा कॉन्शियसनेस एलिवेट हो चुका है या भगवान के चरण कमल में रह चुका है कि ये माया उनको किसी से भी हद तक नहीं छू पा रही है। और एक हमारी स्टेट है कि छोटा सा टेम्पटेशन आ जाता है, थोड़ी सी कोई दिक्कत आ जाती है, तो हम अचानक से एकदम ना तितर बितर हो जाते हैं, चीजों को भूलने लग जाते हैं या अपने आप कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते हैं। तो इसीलिए भगवान की कृपा की बहुत ज्यादा आवश्यकता है। चलिए, एनीवन एल्स कैन रीड फ्रॉम हियर? हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण। मैं पढ़ूं?
आप पढ़ लीजिए सर, आप पढ़ लीजिए।
Sanatan Goswami, formerly known as Sakara Malika, was in the cabinet service of the Bengal government under the regime of Nawab Hussain Shah. He decided to join with the Lord and thus retired from the service. On his way back from Vrindavan, when he reached Varanasi, the Lord became the guest of Sri Tapan Mishrayan Chandrasekhara, assisted by Maharashtra Brahmana. At that time, Varanasi was headed by a great sannyasi of the Mayavad school named Shripad Prakashananda Saraswati. When the Lord was at Varanasi, the people in general became more attracted to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on account of his mass Sankirtan movement. Wherever he visited, especially the Vishwanath temple, thousands of pilgrims would follow him. Some were attracted by his bodily features, and others were attracted by his melodious songs, glorifying the Lord. The Mayavadi sannyasi designate themselves as Narayan. Varanasi is still flooded with many Mayavadi sannyasis. Some people who saw the Lord in his Sankirtan party considered him to be actually Narayan, and this report reached the camp of the great sannyasi Prakashananda. In India, there is always a kind of spiritual rivalry between the Mayavad and Bhagavad schools. And thus, when the news of the Lord reached Prakashananda, he knew that the Lord was a Vaishnava sannyasi and therefore he minimized the value of the Lord before those who brought him the news. He deprecated the activities of the Lord because of his preaching the Sankirtan movement, which was in his opinion nothing but religious sentiment. Prakashananda was a profound student of Vedanta, and he advised his followers to give attention to the Vedanta and not to indulge in Sankirtan. One devotee, Brahmana, who became a devotee of the Lord, did not like the criticism of Prakashananda, and he went to the Lord to express his regrets. He told the Lord that he uttered the Lord's name before the sannyasi Prakashananda. The latter strongly criticized the Lord. Although the Brahmana heard Prakashananda uttering several times the name Chaitanya, the Brahmana was astonished to see that sannyasi Prakashananda could not vibrate the sound Krishna even once. although he uttered the name Chaitanya several times. The Lord smilingly explained to the devotee Brahmana why the Mayavadi did not utter the holy name of Krishna. The Mayavadis are offenders at the lotus feet of Krishna, although they utter always Brahma, Atma, or Chaitanya, etc. And because they are offenders at the lotus feet of Krishna, they are actually unable to utter the holy name of Krishna. The name Krishna and the personality of Godhead Krishna are identical. There is no difference in the absolute realm between the name, form, or person of the absolute truth, because in the absolute realm, everything is transcendental bliss. There is no difference between the body and soul of the person for the personality of Godhead Krishna. The sea is different from the living entity, who is always different from his outward body. Because of Krishna's transcendental position, it is very difficult for a layman to actually know the personality of Godhead Krishna. His holy name and fame, etc. His name, fame, form, and pastimes all are one and the same transcendental identity, and they are not knowable by the exercise of the material senses. The transcendental relationship of the pastimes of the Lord is the source of still more bliss than one can experience by realization of Brahman or by becoming one with the Supreme. Had it not been so, then those who are already situated in the transcendental bliss of Brahman would not have been attracted by the transcendental bliss of the pastimes of the Lord. After this, a great meeting was arranged by the devotees of the Lord, in which all the sannyasis were invited, including the Lord and Prakashananda Saraswati. In this meeting, the scholars, the Lord and Prakashananda, had spiritual values of the Sankirtana movement, and a summary is the great Mayavadi sannyasi Prakashananda inquired from the Lord as to the reason for his preferring the Sankirtana movement to the study of Vedanta Sutra. Prakashananda said that it is the duty of a sannyasi to read the Vedanta Sutra. What caused the Lord to Sankirtana? After this inquiry, the Lord submissively replied, I have taken to the Sankirtana movement instead of the study of Vedanta because I am a great fool. The Lord thus represented himself as one of the absolutely incapable of studying the Vedanta philosophy. The fool's indulgence in the study of Vedanta has caused so much havoc in society. The Lord, and because I am a great fool, the spiritual master forbade me to play with Vedanta philosophy. That it is better that I chant the holy name of the Lord, for that bondage. In this age of Kali, there is no other religion but the glorification of the Lord by utterance of His holy name, and that is the injunction of all the revealed scriptures. And my spiritual master has taught me one shloka: Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam kalau nasti eva gatiranyatha. So on the order of my spiritual master, I chant the holy name of Hari, and I am now mad after this holy name. Whenever I uttered the holy name, I forgot myself completely, and sometimes I laugh, cry, and dance like a madman. I thought that I had actually gone mad by this process of chanting, and therefore I asked my spiritual master about it. He informed me that this was the real effect of chanting the holy name, which produces a transcendental emotion, that it is a rare manifestation. It is a sign of love of God, which is the ultimate end of life. Love of God is transcendental liberation, mukti, and thus it is called the fifth stage of spiritual realization. Above the stage of liberation, by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one attains the stage of love of God. And it was good that, fortunately, I was favored with the blessing. On hearing this statement from the Lord, the Mayavadi sannyasi asked the Lord what was the harm in studying the Vedanta along with chanting the holy name. Prakashananda Saraswati knew well that Lord was formerly known as Nima Pandita, a very learned scholar of Navadvip, and his posing as a great fool was certainly to some purpose. Hearing this inquiry by the sannyasi, the Lord smiled and said, My dear sir, if you do not mind, I will answer your inquiry. All the sannyasis there were very much pleased with the Lord for his honest dealings, and they unanimously replied that they would not be offended by whatever he replied. The Lord then spoke as follows: Vedanta Sutra consists of transcendental words or sounds uttered by the transcendental personality of God. As such, in the Vedanta, there cannot be any human deficiencies like mistake, illusion, cheating, or inefficiency. The message of the Upanishads is expressed in the Vedanta Sutra, and what is said that directly is certainly glorified. Whatever interpretations have been given by Sankaracharya has no direct bearing on the sutra, and therefore such commentation spoils everything. The word Brahmana indicates the greatest of all, which is full with transcendental opulences superior to all. Brahman is ultimately the personality of Godhead, and he is covered by indirect interpretations and established as including the form, body, place, and paraphernalia of the Lord. All are eternally cognizant and blissful. It is not the fault of the Acharya Sankara that he has so interpreted Vedanta. But if someone accepts it, then certainly he is doomed. Anyone who accepts the transcendental body of the personality of Godhead as something mundane certainly commits the greatest blasphemy. The Lord thus spoke to the sannyasi almost in the same way that he spoke to the Bhattacharya of Puri, and by forceful arguments he nullified the Mayavad interpretations of the Vedanta Sutra. Sannyasis was the personified Vedas and, and the personality of Godhead. All the sannyasis were converted to the cult of bhakti. All of them accepted the holy name of the Lord Sri Krishna, and they dined together with the Lord in the midst of them. After this conversion of the sannyasis, the popularity of the Lord increased at Varanasi, and thousands of people assembled to see the Lord in person. The Lord thus established the primary importance of Srimad Bhagavata Dharma, and he defeated all other systems of spiritual realization. After that, everyone at Varanasi was overwhelmed with the transcendental Sankirtan movement. When the Lord was camping at Varanasi, Sanatan Goswami also arrived after retiring from office. He was formerly one of the state ministers in the government of Bengal. Then, under the regime of Nawab Hussain Shah, he had some difficulty in getting relief from the state service, for the Nawab was reluctant to let him leave. Nonetheless, he came to Varanasi, and the Lord taught him the principles of devotional service. He taught him about the constitutional position of the living being, the cause of this bondage under material conditions, his eternal relation with the personality of Godhead, the transcendental position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his expansions in different energy portions of incarnations, his control of different parts of the universe, the nature of the transcendental abode, devotional activities, their different stages of development, the rules and regulations for achieving the gradual stages of spiritual perfection, the symptoms of different incarnations in different ages, and how to detect them with reference to the context of revealed scriptures. The Lord's teachings to Sanatan Goswami from a big chapter in the text of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and to explain the whole teachings in minor details will require a volume in itself. These are treated in detail in our book, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. At Mathura, the Lord visited all the important places. Then he reached Vrindavan. Lord Chaitanya appeared in the family of a high caste Brahmana, and over and above that, as a sannyasi. He was a preceptor for all the varnas and ashrams, but he used to accept meals from the classes of Vaishnavas. At Mathura, the Sanodaya Brahmanas are considered to be in the lower status of society, but the Lord accepted meals in the family of such a Brahmana, also because his host happened to be a disciple of Madhavendra Puri family. At Vrindavan, the Lord took bath in 24 important bathing places of Ghatas. He traveled to all the 12 important forests. In these forests, all the cows and birds welcomed him, as if he were their very old friend. The Lord also began to embrace all the trees of those forests, and by doing so, he felt the symptoms of transcendental ecstasy. Sometimes he felt unconscious, but he was made to regain consciousness by the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. The transcendental symptoms that were visible on the body of the Lord during his travel within the forest of Vrindavan were all unique and explicable, and we have just given a synopsis only. Some of the important places that were visited by the Lord in Vrindavan were Kamyavan, the Adishwara, Pavana Sarovar, Khadiravana, Sheshashai, Khelatirtha, Bhandirvan, Bhadravan, Shrivan, Lohavan, Mahavan, Gokul, Kalihirada, Dwadas Aditya, Tirtha, etc. When he saw the places where the Ras dance took place, he at once fell down in trance. As long as he remained in Vrindavan, he made his headquarters at Akrura Ghat. From Vrindavan, his personal servitor Krishnadas Vipra induced him to go back to Prayag to take bath during the Magh Mela. The Lord accepted this proposal and they started for Prayag. On the way, they met with some Pathans, amongst whom there was a learned Maulana. The Lord had some talks with the Maulana and his companions, and the Lord convinced the Maulana that in the Quran also there are descriptions of Bhagavad Dharma and Krishna. All the Pathans were converted to his cult of devotional service. When he returned to Prayag, Srila Rupa Goswami and his youngest brother met him near Bindu Madhav temple. This time, the Lord was welcomed by the people of Prayag more respectfully. Vallabh Bhatta, who resided on the other bank of Prayag, the village of Adela, was to receive him at his place. But while going there, the Lord jumped in the river Yamuna. With great difficulty, he was picked up in an unconscious state. Finally, he visited the headquarters of Vallabh Bhatt. This Vallabh Bhatt was one of his chief admirers, but later on inaugurated his own party, the Vallabh Samradaya. On the bank of the Dasaswamedha Ghat at Prayag for 10 days continually, the Lord instructed Rupa Goswami in the science of devotional service to the Lord. He taught the Goswami that the divisions of the living creatures in the 84 lakh species of life. Then he taught him about the human species. Out of them, he discussed the followers of the Vedic principles. Out of them, the fruity workers. Out of them, the empiric philosophers. And out of them, the liberated souls. He said that there are only a few who are actually pure devotees of Lord Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami was the younger brother of Sanatan Goswami. When he retired from the service, he brought with him 2 boatfuls of gold coins. This means that he brought with him some hundreds of thousands of rupees accumulated by the labor of his service. And before leaving home for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he divided the wealth as follows: 50% for the service of the Lord and his devotees, 25% for relatives, and 25% for his personal needs in case of emergency. In that way, he set an example for all householders.
कि हम
The
सबके घर
Lord
में
taught
ऐसा होना चाहिए, लेकिन बहुत दुर्भाग्य की बात है कि ऐसा कुछ हो नहीं पा रहा है। हमारे घर में तो 1 रुपया नहीं देते किसी को। सॉरी।
correct.
देखेंगे आगे जाकर के कैसे
Continue, brother.
रूप गोस्वामी बहुत अच्छी तरीके से यूज करते हैं। बाद में सनातन गोस्वामी को निकलने के लिए भी यही लक्ष्मी की आवश्यकता होती है। पढ़िए आप, हम देखते हैं। प्लीज कंटिन्यू।
The Lord taught the Goswami about devotional service, comparing it to a creeper, and advised him to protect the bhakti creeper most carefully against the mad elephant offense against the pure devotees. In addition, the creeper has to be protected from the desire of enjoyment, monistic liberation, and perfection of the Hatha Yoga system. They are all detrimental on the path of devotional service. Similarly, violence against living beings and desire for worldly gain, worldly reception, and worldly fame are all detrimental to the process of bhakti or Bhagavad Dharma. Pure devotional service must be freed from all desires for sense gratification, fruitive aspirations, and culture of monastic knowledge. One must be freed from all kinds of designations. And when one is thus converted to transcendental purity, one can then serve the Lord by purified senses. As long as there is a desire to enjoy sensually, or to become one with the Supreme, or to possess the mystic powers, there is no question of attaining the stage of pure devotional service. Devotional service is conducted under 2 categories, namely primary practice and spontaneous emotion. When one can rise to the platform of spontaneous emotion, he can make further progress by spiritual attachment, feeling, love, and many higher stages of devotional life for which there are no English words. We have tried to explain the science of devotional service in our book, The Nectar of Devotion, based on the authority of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami. Transcendental devotional service has 5 stages of reciprocation. The self-realization stage, just after liberation from material bondage, is called Sant or neutral stage. After that, when there is development of transcendental knowledge of the Lord's internal opulences, the devotee engages himself in the Dasya stage. By further development of the Dasya stage, a reciprocal fraternity with the Lord develops, and above that, a feeling of friendship on equal terms before becomes manifest. Both these stages are called the Sakya stage or devotional service and friendship. Above this is the stage of parental affection toward the Lord, and this is called the Vatsalya stage. And above this is the stage of conjugal love. And this stage is called the highest stage of love of God. Although there is no difference in quality in any of these above stages, the last stage of conjugal love of God is called the Madhurya stage. Thus he instructed Rupa Goswami in devotional science and deputed him to Vrindavan to excavate the lost sites of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. After this,
हम
the
प्रभु हम कौन से रस में आते हैं प्रभु?
क्या
हम
चीज?
इनमें से कौन से रस में आते हैं? 5 रस तो हमने पढ़े, हम जो ये 5 रस पढ़े इसमें से कौन से रस में आते
राइट
हैं?
राइट, एक मिनट। न्यू अच्छा, हम लोग ये में है ना फर्स्ट में होंगे शायद, क्योंकि वी आर स्टिल अंडर
सेकंड में दास से रस, हम दास से रस में आते हैं।
दास
अर्जुन
है।
आते हैं
अच्छा,
वात्सल्य रस
पहला क्या है? एक मिनट
में और
सेल्फ स्टिल जस्ट
शांत रस।
आफ्टर लिबरेशन। अच्छा ओके, वी आर हाँ दास से
ठीक है, हम आते हैं दास से रस में।
सर्वेंट्स।
अर्जुन है वात्सल्य रस में और गोपियां हैं माधुर्य रस में और यशोमती माता जी और सारे हैं माधुर्य रस में। ऐसा करके है। कोई और भी पढ़ सकते हैं अभी?
राइट। वात्सल्य इज लाइक पेरेंटल अफेक्शन, तो इसमें हो गई यशोदा माता, आई गेस।
वात्सल्य इज काइंड ऑफ फ्रेंडशिप। पेरेंटल अफेक्शन, हाँ पेरेंटल अफेक्शन है। नहीं नहीं, तो वो कहाँ गया? तो फ्रेंडशिप ये है, साख्य रस है अर्जुन का, माधुर्य गोपियों का है,
वात्सल्य इज लाइक
साख्य
नंद
अर्जुन का है।
महाराज, है ना?
यस यस। और
एंड
सबसे
उद्धव
हाईएस्ट होता है
आल्सो, आई
गोपियों
गेस।
का, 108 जो गोपियां हैं,
राइट।
they all come into
माधुर्य,
माधुर्य रस। माधुर्य रस।
माधुर्य।
Anyone else can also read from
So
now.
Himanshu Prabhu, you can continue.
कौन सी नॉइज आ रहा है क्या?
हाँ आवाज आ रही है, बोलिए।
मतलब बैकग्राउंड नॉइज आ रहा है क्या?
हल्का हल्का आ तो रहा है। ये जो है ना, ये जो लाइन लिखी हुई है, द लॉर्ड लेफ्ट ओनली 8 श्लोकास ऑफ हिज इंस्ट्रक्शंस इन राइटिंग, इसके लिए मैंने एक वीडियो देखी थी। आई एम नॉट श्योर वो कितनी ऑथेंटिक है, मैंने यूट्यूब में देखी थी। उसमें ऐसा होता है जब चैतन्य महाप्रभु बहुत छोटे होते हैं, ये आई एम नॉट श्योर ये ऑथेंटिक है या नहीं, तो वो क्या पहली बार ना बहुत सुंदर एक रचना करते हैं। तो जो रचना करते हैं बहुत प्रसन्न हो जाते हैं, तो उनके जो बहुत ही प्रिय मित्र होते हैं उसके पास वो लेकर के जाते हैं और उसको पढ़ने बोलते हैं। जब वो उसको पढ़ता है तो अचानक से वो रोने लग जाता है। तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु पूछते हैं कि आप क्यों रो रहे हैं? तो बोलते हैं कि मुझे लगता था कि मैं तुमसे बहुत ज्यादा ज्ञानी हूँ और मैं बहुत बड़ा स्कॉलर हूँ, और लेकिन तुमने तो मुझसे इतनी ज्यादा अच्छी रचना की है, अब सब कोई तुमको पूछेंगे, मेरे को भूल जाएंगे और ऐसे वैसे करने लग गया। तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु उस समय ही पकड़ते हैं, वो गंगा में ही बैठे होते हैं, गंगा में नाव में जा रहे होते हैं और सारे रचना को लेकर के गंगा में बहा देते हैं। और उस समय उसको प्रॉमिस करते हैं कि आज के बाद से मैं कभी भी कोई रचना नहीं करूंगा। तो उसमें तो ऐसा बताता है कि ये भगवान की इच्छा थी कि वो पूरा टाइम प्रचार और संकीर्तन में लगाना चाहते थे और रचना में समय अपना व्यर्थ नहीं करना चाहते थे। इसी कारण से उन्होंने ये पास टाइम एग्जिबिट किया था। तो वो जो 8 श्लोक हम देखते हैं वो है शिक्षा अष्टकम, जो हमारे मंदिर में मतलब इस्कॉन में रोज सुबह मतलब रिसाइट किया जाता है। और ये हम सबको याद रहना चाहिए एटलीस्ट। शिक्षा स्तंभ एक ऐसा श्लोक है 8 लोगों का जो हमको डेफिनेटली सबको याद रहना चाहिए। वो मतलब बाकी काफी लोगों को याद होगा, किसको याद है बताइए जरा।
जी यही
हरे कृष्ण।
शिक्षाष्टम का क्लास होता है ना 7 बजे।
हाँ 7:30 बजे शिक्षा स्तंभ की क्लासेस चल रहे हैं। तो सोचिए एक श्लोक को समझाने के लिए 12 15 दिन लग रहा है डिवोटीज को, फिर भी नहीं समझा पा रहे हैं पूरा, फिर भी छोड़ना पड़ रहा है। इतना मतलब इम्पोर्टेंट शिक्षा स्तंभ।
ये
तो
अक्षय प्रभु
किस किस को
मतलब
याद
बहुत
है?
डिटेल में समझाते हैं।
बहुत सारे पास्ट टेंस के
मेरे को
साथ
तो याद
समझाते हैं, बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स देते हैं, आलोचना देते हैं, एनालॉजीज देते हैं। और उनके उनकी कथन बहुत, जिसको उड़िया अच्छे से आती है ना, उनका कथन बहुत प्यारा लगेगा।
ये मतलब मेरा पूरा उड़िया है ना, मतलब एक्सेंट,
हाँ।
तो मेरे को मतलब मैं पूरा
हम्म।
रिलेट कर पाता हूँ उनके एक्सेंट के साथ।
हाँ वही पूरा कैच कर पाएंगे आप, पूरा कैच कर लेंगे,
जी
वो जितनी अच्छी तरीके से समझाते हैं।
प्योर उड़िया में,
तो
प्योर
प्रभु
उड़िया
यहाँ
बोलते
जितने
हैं।
हैं, इस किसको आता है प्रभु यहाँ जितने लोग हैं?
शिक्षाष्टकम
शुभम प्रभु,
मुझे
रुपेश
सिर्फ उड़िया
प्रभु,
आता है।
भरत प्रभु। नहीं शिक्षा कम नहीं आता प्रभु
हाँ जी
आपको?
प्रभु।
नहीं नहीं
ओह
प्रभु।
ये अलग बात
नहीं,
है।
मुझे हरे कृष्णा। हेलो।
प्रभु बोलिए।
हाँ जी प्रभु, क्या 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 पूछ रहे थे आप अभी कुछ शायद?
मैं पूछ रहा हूँ शिक्षा कम आपको याद है?
नहीं, मुझे तो नहीं याद है, मतलब मुझे पता भी नहीं है क्या
शुभम
है।
ब्रो, आपको याद है?
नहीं नहीं
केतु
नहीं, आई
दर्पण
हैवंट।
मार्जनम भवमहदाव निर्वापनम श्रेय कैरिव चंद्रिका विक्रम। आठ, चलिए ठीक है, कोई ना, हम आगे पढ़ते हैं, लेट हो गया। तो द पढ़िए हिमांशु। द लॉर्ड लेफ्ट ओनली 8 श्लोकास।
Okay. The Lord left only 8 shlokas of his instructions in writing, and they are also called the Sikshastaka. All other literature of his divine cult were extensively written by Lord's principal followers, the six Goswamis of Vrindavan and their followers. The cult of Chaitanya philosophy is richer than any other, and it is admitted to be the living religion of the day with the potency for spreading as Vishwadharma or universal religion. We are glad that the matter has been taken up by some enthusiastic sages like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj and his disciples. We shall eagerly wait for the happy days of Bhagavad Dharma or Prema Dharma inaugurated by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The 8 slokas completed by the Lord are as follows. Okay, the first one: Glory to the Lord, glory to the Lord Sri Krishna, glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtana movement is a prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Second, O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to all living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govind. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. These are not even hard and fast rules for there are not even hard rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. Third one should chant the
भगवान ये
holy
वाली
name
चीज
of the
क्यों बोल रहा है
Lord.
प्रभु? देर आर नॉट इवन, प्रभु ये चीज बोल रहे हैं ना, देर आर नो इवन हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल्स फॉर चैंटिंग दीज नेम्स, ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हैं भगवान? अभी आप देखें, रिसेंटली आया हुआ भुवनेश्वर से एक यूट्यूब वीडियो आई थी जिसमें ये हिज होलीनेस भक्ति स्वामी महाराज अभिषेक आशीष गर को बता रहे हैं कि हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र क्यों इतना ज्यादा ऑथेंटिक है चैंटिंग के लिए। इसको याद है?
नहीं वीडियो प्रभु जी, मैं वो वीडियो नहीं देखा।
देखिए, यहाँ पे लिखा है ना भगवान ने कि देयर आर नॉट इवन हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल्स फॉर चैंटिंग दिस मंत्र। तो ऐसा होता है कि देखिए, जो गायत्री मंत्र है या बाकी जो भी मंत्र है उसमें 3 चीजें होती हैं। बीज, क्या था, ओम, बीज, न्यास, ऐसे 3 चीजें होती हैं। मतलब ओम जो होता है, ओम होता है बीज मंत्र का, जैसे ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः। उसके बाद उसमें सारे स्वर आते हैं, भूर्भुवः स्वः तस्य विदुः, और लास्ट में धीमहि, न्यास। तो ये 3 चीजें होती हैं हर मंत्र में। तो इसलिए गायत्री मंत्र जब आप देखेंगे तुकाराम प्रभु दिन में 3 बार करते हैं, सवेरे 6 बजे, दोपहर 12 बजे, शाम को 6 बजे। एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम है, पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन में, पर्टिकुलर तरीके से और चुप होकर, शांत होकर मन में की जाती हैं। लेकिन हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र 3 कैटेगरीज में की जा सकती हैं। हम बीट पकड़ करके उसकी चैंटिंग कर सकते हैं, हम उसका कीर्तन कर सकते हैं बैठ करके मृदंग करताल वगैरह लेके, और हम घूम घूम करके उसका संकीर्तन भी कर सकते हैं। तो ये खासियत है हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की, इसीलिए इसको द एब्सोल्यूट मेडिसिन फॉर द कलयुगा माना जाता है। ये परम पूज्य हमारा समझाते हैं। मैं वो शेयर कर दूंगा वीडियो आप लोगों के साथ थोड़ी देर में। पढ़िए पढ़िए।
तो एक्चुअली मेरा क्वेश्चन था, तो अगर हम लोग अगर महामंत्र को अगर मानते हैं कि वो सबसे ऊंचा है या सबसे मतलब प्यूरिफाइड मंत्र है, तो आप जब अभी बोल रहे थे कि मतलब तुकाराम प्रभु भी मतलब गायत्री मंत्र का जो जाप करते हैं, तो मतलब वो किस लिए? तो फिर मतलब उसका कुछ ऐसे स्पेसिफिक होता है या कुछ कारण के लिए या कुछ क्या है?
देखिए वही बता रहा हूँ। देखिए, जो हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र है उसका क्या फंक्शन है? उसका फंक्शन है डिलीवरेंस। क्या बता रहे? तो सतो नाम में कुछ डिलीवरेंस है। तो हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र किस लिए? क्लींजिंग द हार्ट, ये तो दर्पण मार्जनम करने के लिए हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र करा जाता है। तुकाराम प्रभु क्यों कर रहे हैं गायत्री मंत्र? देखिए, गायत्री मंत्र है, भगवान गायत्री जो है वो अर्च विग्रह सेवन में हेल्प करती हैं। तो जो ब्राह्मण दीक्षा लेते हैं, जो ब्राह्मण दीक्षा में इंस्टिट्यूट होते हैं, जो सही में अर्च विग्रह की पूजा करते हैं, हाँ एग्जैक्टली, जो लोग भगवान के अर्च विग्रह की सेवा करते हैं, बिकॉज अर्च विग्रह ऑफ लॉर्ड एंड द लॉर्ड आर नॉन डिफरेंट। आज हमारे मंदिर में जो कृष्णा बलराम है, गौर निताई है, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा है, दे आर एग्जैक्टली द लॉर्ड इन द स्पिरिचुअल realm। तो इनके साथ जो डीलिंग होती है वो बहुत ही एलिवेटेड स्टेट पे होनी चाहिए। तो उसके केपेबल होने के लिए गायत्री मंत्र दिन में 3 बार किया जाता है। बट दिस हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र इज डिफरेंट। इवन द जो ब्रह्मचारी नहीं है वो लोग भी ब्राह्मण दीक्षा लेकर के वर्शिप कर सकते हैं। द ब्राह्मण दीक्षा ये 3 टाइम गायत्री मंत्र इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र इज द मेडिसिन टू क्लीन द हार्ट इन दिस कलयुग। द चेतो दर्पण मार्जन जो लिखा हुआ है ऊपर में, वही है उसका मतलब। दैट इज द रीजन।
अच्छा अच्छा,
इसलिए इस्कॉन में सबको गायत्री मंत्र नहीं करना होता है। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र इज कंपलसरी। गायत्री मंत्र इज फॉर ओनली द सेकंड इनिशिएशन, जो ब्राह्मण दीक्षा ले लेते हैं और अर्च विग्रह की पूजा करने जाते हैं। फॉर देम इट इज कंपलसरी। और उसमें बहुत सारे आपको आप देखेंगे कि कुर्ता क्यों नहीं पहनते हैं अर्च विग्रह की पूजा करने में, उत्तरी क्यों पहनते हैं, कोपिन क्यों पहनते हैं। देयर आर एन नंबर ऑफ थिंग्स दैट हैज टू बी टेकन केयर ऑफ व्हाइल वर्शिपिंग द डीटीज। एक भी धागा नहीं होना चाहिए शरीर में, और तुरंत स्नान करना चाहिए, और मलमूत्र त्याग नहीं होना चाहिए। बहुत सारी चीजें हैं उसमें। दैट्स द रीजन गायत्री मंत्र इज ऑल्सो एन एडिशन टू इट। उसके साथ 2-3 गायत्री और मिलती है, गुरु गायत्री, ब्रह्म गायत्री, ऐसे 3-4 गायत्री और दी जाती है गुरु के द्वारा इनिशिएशन में। ठीक है प्रभु।
ओके। हाँ जी हाँ जी।
तो उसके कितने राउंड्स होते हैं?
आई एम नॉट अवेयर कि एक ही बार सारा करते हैं। 5 गायत्री होती है, एक ही बार करते हैं 5 और गायत्री को। तो दिन में 3 बार करते हैं, सुबह 6 बजे, दोपहर को 12 बजे और शाम को 6 बजे। 3 बार इट हैज टू बी डन
ओके।
इन अ डे। और फिर उसमें बहुत सारी चीजें होती है। सेक्रेट थ्रेड जो पहनते हैं उसमें भी बहुत लोचा है कि 6 राउंड होते हैं, 9 राउंड होते हैं। तुकाराम प्रभु वगैरह सबके 9 राउंड हैं। जो नॉर्मल कोई ब्राह्मण धर्म में रहते हैं तो उनके 6 राउंड होते हैं। शादी होने के बाद 9 राउंड हो जाते हैं। और जो 9 धागे जो होते हैं, 9 धागे एक एक चीज दर्शाते हैं। क्षमा, तपा, धर्म, आर्चवम, और ऐसा करके 9 चीजें दर्शाते हैं। डी फिलोसफी के तो तुकाराम प्रभु समझा पाएंगे अच्छे से। तो इट गोस लाइक दैट। हिमांशु कंटिन्यू करिए।
Okay. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of Lord constantly. Fourth, O mighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Fifth, O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Sixth, O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Seventh, O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a movement to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. Eighth, I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or make me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord unconditionally.
हरी बोल। तो इसी के साथ हमारा जो इंट्रोडक्शन है वो खत्म हो गया है। और चैप्टर 1 अगर हम चाहें तो कल से शुरू कर सकते हैं। क्वेश्चंस बाय द सेजेस, चैप्टर 1 ऑफ श्रीमद् भागवतम। और इसमें अगर किसी को कुछ कहना है सिस्टम को, या अपना कोई क्वेरी है तो भी बोल सकते हैं। वी कैन डिस्कस, जो भी जिसको जितना आता है।
प्रभु जी कल 5 o'clock को क्लास करेंगे क्या?
कर लीजिए, बाकी लोग सहमत हैं?
5 से 6।
एक्चुअली इनका ही कंसर्न है। एक्चुअली ये सौरभ प्रभु का क्लास रहता है शायद। सौरभ प्रभु आपका क्लास रहता है ना?
राइट, मेरा थर्सडेज और मंडेज को रहता है टिल 5:45।
कल
नहीं,
तो कुछ
6 o'clock को तो ठीक रहेगा शायद। कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है क्या 6 को?
नहीं देखिए
हाँ
देखिए,
जी।
एक्चुअली क्या है ना, ये शिफ्ट हो जाएगा, हम लोग 6:30 रख देंगे। अभी क्या है ना, मतलब आजकल में मेरा सरेंडर ऑन टू मी खत्म हो जाएगा। सरेंडर ऑन टू मी एक बुक है जो भगवत गीता का समरी है, गुरुजन प्रभु ने लिखा है, तो तुकाराम
अच्छा
प्रभु के
अच्छा।
साथ हम लोग वो बुक पढ़ते हैं। तो वो 1-2 दिन में खत्म हो जाएगा, तो उसके बाद हम 6:30 कर लेंगे, तो सबके लिए कन्वीनियंट हो जाएगा। 6:30
अच्छा ओके
वो
ओके।
एक और प्रभु है, संवित प्रभु हैं, वो भी 6:30 को करना चाहते हैं, आप लोग भी सारे 6:30 को करना चाहते हैं, तो दैट इज वेरी कन्वीनियंट। तो आज ही या कल के अंदर ये चीज़ खत्म हो जाएगी, नॉट एन इशू। तो हिमांशु को बताइए, एक दिन मैनेज हो जाएगा।
हाँ, कुछ नहीं, मेरे को बस मतलब वही